Greetings everyone. This is group number 10 presenting a slideshow on environmental and safety engineering. It's based on urbanization in India. It's going to be presented by Ruturaj Badal. Author is Devrat Malik, designed by Srushti Sangawar. Proofreaders Ekta Sharma, Rinkesh Lal, photography by Seema Priyanka and Sahil Vane. So today we'll be speaking of urbanization in India. There have been a great progress in urban cities of India after the globalization policies that were taken by the Indian government in 1991. So today we will be seeing about the effects, what were the pros and cons of the urbanization. So let's have a look on this. So before knowing the effects, pros and cons and all that, let's first know what is urbanization. The base of the word is Latin word urbs, which means city. The term urbanization means that lifestyle that is common in a city becomes prevalent. This can happen in two different ways, through the growth of cities called physical urbanization, or through the change of behavior of people living in rural areas called functional urbanization. So physical urbanization has been observed for centuries. In developing countries, this is the main form of urbanization. In developed countries, functional urbanization is the main form of urbanization. With functional urbanization, people living in the city center move to the countryside known as next to the city. This is known as suburbanization. So in the also in developing countries, we can see suburbanization. In city like Pune, Pimpri Chinchwad has been developed as a suburban. Navi Mumbai can be the suburbs of Navi Mumbai like Thane have been developed as suburbans. So let's have a look next. So what about the urbanization in India? That was the definition of urbanization. Let's have a look at the urbanization that has taken place in this nation. A population residing in urban areas in India according to 1901 census was just 11.4%. This count increased to 28.53% in 2001 and crossing 30% in 2011. So there was an increase of around 3% from 2001 to 2017. That is just 16 years, and there was an increase of 17% in the through a century. In 2017, the number increased to 34% according to the World Bank. Census of 2011 data shows that Goa is the most urbanized state in India with 62.127% of the population living in urban areas. But if one goes by the geographical area and total population, Tamil Nadu is the most urbanized state. In Kerala, 47.72% of people lives in urban areas, and in Maharashtra, it's 45.23%. So why urbanization took place in India? There have been many reasons for urbanization. Let's have a look on the reasons of the urbanization in India. So contribution of agriculture sector to the GDP of India started to decline, and the percentage contribution from secondary sector started to increase. The nation's economy saw a rise due to industrial revolution and invention of new technologies, increased the standard of living of people in urban areas. The growth of public sector resulted in development of public transport, roads, water supply, electricity, and hence the infrastructure of urban areas. So what are the main causes that because of which urbanization took place in India? The main causes of urbanization is expansion of government service as a result of Second World War, migration of people after the partition of India. That's the one of the more main reasons that took place in 1947. The most of the people who migrated from the Pakistan to India settled in New Delhi or the largest cities. Though that was an important reason for urbanization in India. The Industrial Revolution, 11th five-year plan that aimed at urbanization of our economic sector of India in 1991. That was a most important part due to which we are saying the urbanization in India today. Infrastructure facilities in urban areas, growth of private sector after 1990, growth of employment in cities is attracting people from rural areas as well as smaller cities to large towns. Therefore, it is being driven by economic compulsions where people move out from economic advancements to areas offering better job opportunities. There have many pros of urbanization. Let's have a look at the pros of urbanization. First is migration of rural people to urban areas, employment opportunities in urban centers, transport and communication, education facilities. That's an important part because the education facilities in developed regions, that's the urban regions, is a lot better compared to the rural regions. Increase in standard of living, of course. Urbanization can yield positive effect if it takes place up to a desirable limit. The word desirable limit should be noted here, because urbanization in India have not been to desirable limits. It's way beyond the desirable limits. We will have a look at it in next slides. What are the cons of urbanization? The extensive urbanization or indiscriminate growth of cities may result in adverse effects. They may be as follows. See, if there is urbanization beyond the desirable limits, that's indiscriminate growth or extensive urbanizations, it can cause hell lots of problems. So let's have a look about all those problems. The first is population, problem of overpopulation. Concentration of population is a major problem of cities. It has resulted in accommodation problem, growth of slums, etc. Disintegration of joint families, that we can see a cultural disadvantage of urbanization is the disintegration of joint families. Joint families can't be maintained in cities on account of high cost of living, so people prefer to live in a nuclear type of families. Cost of living, high cost of living is a major problem of cities. Increase in crime rates, urban centers are known for high rate of crimes. Impersonal relations, urban centers are characterized by highly secondary relations. The concept of neighborhood, community life are almost absent in cities. Some more cons we'll be seeing about them. The problem of pollution, industrialized cities. Pollution is a major problem. It may be caused by industries or by excessive movement of vehicles. And stress, that's an important, or we can say most important problem in today's life. Urban life is characterized by state which may even strain the family relations, which was not seen when there was no urbanization, and in rural areas there is less stress compared to urbanized cities. So let's have a case study of unplanned urbanization. And if we are looking for an unplanned urbanization, Mumbai, there is nothing, there cannot be a better example than Mumbai. So making it inconvenient for residents to commute. If a city is not planned from scratch, it becomes difficult to provide services, facilities to even improve the layout and living condition in such areas. The city planners of Mumbai in 1960s and 70s decided that its population should be controlled at about 7 million. Land regulations, infrastructure policies were decided accordingly. However, people migrated into the city in search of livelihood, and today the city is more than twice the intended size, which is the highest densely populated of in population density of any metropolitan city in the world. The result of this vicious circle of supply shortage and high land prices, an estimated of 6.5 million people, that is around half the population of Mumbai, that's 55% population of Mumbai, lives in slums. Most slum houses do not have individual toilets and taps. Residents have to pay to use community toilets, which are rarely maintained, and buy overpriced water from vendors. Some 78% of community toilets in Mumbai slums lack water supply, and 58% have no electricity. Many slums houses do not have proper doors. So that was a dark side of the city that never sleeps. So government of India brought in a project called Smart Cities project. It was brought in 2014 when the current government came into the power. In approach to the Smart Cities mission, the objective is to promote cities that provide core infrastructure and give a decent quality of life to its citizens, a clean and sustainable environment, and application of smart solutions. The focus is on sustainable and inclusive development, and the idea is to look at compact areas, create a replicable model which will act like a lighthouse to other aspiring cities. So, what makes a city smart? The high buildings, the posh roads, uh, the bridges, and all that doesn't make a city smart. What actually makes a city smart is its complete development in all sectors. So let's have a look at the points which will make a city smart. So adequate water supply, assured electricity supply, sanitation including solid waste management, efficient urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing especially for the poor, robust IT connectivity and digitalization, good governance, especially e-governance and citizen participation, sustainable environment, safety and security of citizens, particularly women, children, and the elderly, and health and education. So we have seen a dark example, example of a city which was not at all well planned. So now let's have a smart example of a city which has smartly developed. A smart city is an urban settlement with properly connected, smartly managed and optimized resources. Every device that is a component of a city must function with others to handle the resources of that city's population. If the city is to be truly smart, these devices should communicate with each other, and this is where the IoT, Internet of Things, come in. Barcelona has understood the huge potential of IoT and started implementing smart city solutions from 2012. The city deployed responsive technologies across various urban systems, which include waste management, street lighting, public transit, and parking spaces. Barcelona has implemented a sensor system for drivers that guide them to open parking spot embedded underneath the asphalt, and the sensors have can identify the available parking spaces and notify the drivers. Streetlight LED based street lighting along the sensor network has replaced the street lights across Barcelona. This lighting system is more energy efficient and reduces the heat produced by old lamps, thus leading to cost saving of the city. But waste disposal, the citizens of Barcelona deposit their residential waste into smart bins with the help of smart waste disposal system. These smart bins use a vacuum and suck the waste into underground storage. Bus transit system. The bus transit system has urban sustainable mobility, decreasing the emissions with the help of hybrid buses. This system also has smart bus shelters utilizing solar panels, and the screens show waiting times. This has been implemented in different parts of this nation by now. In Delhi, we have solar buses. In Nagpur, we have solar buses. Noise sensors to counter sound pollution, easy to use and low cost sensors have been built that can detect noise levels, air pollution, temperature, and humidity. City bike system. This is a public transport service intended to short bicycle journeys up to 30-minute duration. Over 1,20,000 subscribers has signed up for this bike sharing program. This initiative helps the number of reduce the number of cars circulating in the city. This car bike system has been implemented in Pune, which is working very fine, and I guess that's a very smart solution for controlling the cars and pollution caused by cars in this nation. So what was conclusion of all this? We have discussed about what is mean by urbanization, how urbanization takes place, what are pros of urbanization, what is cons of urbanization. We have seen a city which was ill developed. Seen a smart city. We have seen a smart project. So let's have a look at conclusion. Mega cities tend not to be sustainable, but they are good evolutions for economic prosperity if they are well planned. In fact, there are many big cities around the world that are much bigger than mega cities of Africa. Tokyo, for example, has more than 35 million population compared to some of the Africa's mega cities that are around 10 to 12 million people. The question is not the size, but the capacity of cities to develop, not spontaneously, but in a well-designed and well-planned manner. The problem is not the emergence of megacities, but the lack of planning. The challenge is how to transform megacities so they can be productive without accumulating the problems of unplanned urbanization.
With the Internet of Things, cities are becoming smarter, engaging citizens, and reinventing themselves. Connecting everything from Wi-Fi hotspots to mass transit to emergency alerts. City planners are creating better and safer places for people to live and work. By integrating technology and driving innovation, AT&T is helping city officials reduce operational costs, increase sustainability, and plan for long-term growth. Now with smart lighting, a lamppost equipped with sensors and connectivity can remotely monitor for everything from air quality to public safety. In transportation, smart programs can alert drivers in real time about traffic delays, synchronize lights for emergency vehicles, and suggest alternative routes to keep traffic running smoothly. In communities with aging infrastructure, maintaining water pipes is critical. So now with acoustic sensors, cities can easily detect exact locations of water leaks, making repairs more cost-effective. A leader in smart city innovations, AT&T has the experience of managing large, complex city projects. Combined with real-time analytics, a strong ecosystem, and a global network, we are bringing the power of the Internet of Things to make cities smarter.